all these words on the left hand side, on the right hand side I have got my palette. All of you are designers, right? Or at least aspiring designers. So what is the palette of a designer? Space, colors, shapes, repeatability, patterns, balance, all that stuff. So just marry these two things together to come with 5 fabulous ideas of redesigning tic-tac-toe. Possible? Nahi? Design students, come on fast. 10 more seconds. 9, 8. Anybody having more than 2 ideas? 1 idea at least?
More than 2.
You've got, yeah?
More than 2 ideas.
Wonderful. How many ideas do you have? 2. Good. Anybody more than that? 5 ideas, anybody? 3 of you. Fabulous. Okay, so let us hear of the ideas now. So this is a very simple demonstration of I am forcing actually, like a ringmaster, you know. Like a ringmaster, I am trying to train your brain to think in a very different direction. Right? If we wouldn't have used certain methodology, it was probably not possible. If I would have told you, okay, redesign tic-tac-toe to make it interesting, I could see a lot of blank faces. Whereas 5 of you have come up with 5 fabulous ideas. Let us hear of one of your ideas.
There can be a combination of a number and a color. I mean, you select
Combination of a number and a color, that's great.
So the number plus the color should be in a row or
Number plus color should be in a row. Which is the industry you are talking about?
retail.
Okay, that's good. So now, if at all you could marry that retail concept with that, could you...
We can take t-shirts or something.
Something of that kind. Or maybe, now that is it possible? See, look at the way the idea is growing, like the cricket, you know, from the stick and a stone to a very matured idea wherein she is thinking of a couple of design parameters, again linking it to the retail, and right now, this is just a concept of the idea. It could be developed.
It can be the cost of the product plus the product.
That's very interesting. So, cost of the product being the number,
Yeah.
and
the
name of the
product.
product.
Yeah.
So 2 parameters. Probably this looks like a seed of an idea. It may not be a game complete, which is perfectly fine. Yeah? Any other ideas?
Never ending challenge.
Never ending challenge. Can you explain?
कुछ टाइम के लिए अपन tic-tac-toe में X नहीं कराना, कुछ टाइम के लिए उसमें में कंप्लीट करना चाहिए, नहीं तो वो एक
Okay, okay. So with a timer. With a timer. That's good. Anything else? Which industry is that?
My chosen industry.
Uh-huh.
Fashion industry.
Fashion industry. Okay, now that's see, look at that. Fashion industry with this ever-changing stuff on my t-shirt gives you a whole lot of 10 more ideas, right? To put in the market. Yes. Anything else? Anybody would like to share any ideas? Yes, please.
I thought of it like a longitudinal, latitudinal direction for it.
Longitude and latitude, okay? Okay.
Alright. And 2 players, one can have his own set, the other one can have this set. Basically what it shows was defense. So then you know you can have something like here I'm setting up my airbase at this position, I'm having a ship, a naval ship over here. And so then one other starts playing. Then the other person will say like, okay, this number, I want to fire at this position. So it will
very interesting. I mean, that kind of a game already is there.
Yeah,
We used to play that game.
Yes.
We used to call it bombing. So this is my airspace, and that is your airspace. I am not seeing your airspace.
Yeah.
And there are planes like this, I believe. 1, 2, and 3. There are 5 types of planes. I could hide my planes in my place, and then each other bombing, things like that. Very, very immersive game.
Then I thought of like suppose you have a matrix. When at a particular position you have your airplane or tank or a soldier, whatever you want. And other places you have some obstruction, like suppose you have boulders. And there's only one blank space. But you have to move the boulders in such a way that you have to take the soldier from this position to a given position. Like you have to get in there. So I use that.
Oh, so look at that. I mean, the kind of parameters he is expanding are not many actually. But still with 2 or 3 parameters, he is making it very, very interesting for defense. So number 1, matrix is increased from 3 by 3 to I don't know what, 10 by 10 for that matter. And then he is adding parameters like somebody is a soldier, somebody is a tank, somebody is a natural, I don't know, something. Yeah. And then a lot of interest is moving in, like that stick to the 2020. That's wonderful, fabulous idea.
One game we usually play, we could consider it as a minesweeper. Like there are mines, you have to detect the mines. It's a minefield, you find them. So you can use that.
That's really great. So I believe we should move to the next part, right? So interestingly, this was a very quick exercise, for all of you to kind of think aloud, start thinking of the games. One bottom line let me give you is most of the game designers, most of the successful games that we have heard of are not a produce of hundreds and thousands of hours. I'm talking about that seed of the idea. That seed of the idea maybe comes to you just in a nick of a time. So the kind of time you actually worked on that paper was not even totaling to about 2 minutes, right? So the way we did that express stuff, it was not even 2 minutes totally. But actually best of the ideas are generated in that millisecond only. And then what is remaining is elaboration of that idea. Like that once he establishes that defense and matrix and things like that, then probably he could throw that idea to a couple of product designers or maybe computer game developers and then make it more and more interesting. So design bottom line is iterative process. It has to iterate. One very interesting thing I would love sharing, one of our teachers, that was the first lecture I attended of that teacher. So he told us, okay, fine, product designers, aspiring product designers, sketch a product that you like. 4 options: design a mobile phone, design maybe a motor car, things like that. And you are given only 30 seconds. Everybody sketched something. The first thing he did was, he collected all these papers, without even looking at these papers, he tore off these whole things. We felt like, what the hell, yeah, it's my stuff, it's like tearing off my passionate stuff and things like that. But then he said, come on, unless you get a divorce from your first idea, it won't come up with you, right? So you throw it off, burn it off, and then probably you could say that don't get married to first idea, right? Anyway, so we will move forward. Now that we have almost moved into the serious gaming, right? So what is the difference between a game and a serious game? The only difference this is a formal definition, the only difference is there is a purpose, एक मकसद है उसमें, right? So for example, the defense game or the kind of retail game you were talking about, just add another dimension to it, which I am calling it business. Does it make sense? So now, these 2 ideas, let us take for that matter, these 2 ideas add one more dimension called somebody should make money out of that idea. Possible? So that is the 3rd level. Next level is, I don't know how, it shouldn't be selling content only. So I am making an interesting game, that's why people will buy that game and that's why he is happy. He is not business for me, for the time being. For the time being, it should make some business sense to the business activities. Do I make sense or no? Do I? Yeah. So either of these ideas, try and move in the business sense. Yeah, anybody? Sure.
My industry was service industry. Okay. And what I was thinking is having a tic-tac-toe game in every bus stop.
Okay.
So people who are waiting for the bus, can just
do something, kill their time.
They can interact with other people because right now they look dead. They're just sitting there, not doing nothing. So they can interact with other person, and also they can kill their time.
Very true.
And it can also motivate people to travel by bus because I get to play game. And
that's wonderful.
If I win maybe 10 times, and the game can be more challenging, it need not be always 3 by 3 thing. If I maybe win more times,